none of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time, F9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number one?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good, good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
That last clip never gets old. It really never gets old. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to Apocaflix Movies and Apocaflix Now. This is our weekly hangout show here on the channel. We get together, we hash it out, and we have fun talking movies and television. Again, thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching live, we appreciate you all. Make sure you're hitting up that chat all night long. Mr. Jacob Hartley will be joining us here very shortly. He had quite the day at work, so he's getting in a little late. But I got Mr. Gio. I got Keith. I got the boys with me. Gentlemen, how we doing? It's Tuesday evening. A little late here. You know, not as late at the East Coast, obviously, but a little late. We're all working hard. Everyone doing okay?
Yeah, just, tired, and it's been a busy month for us. You know what? Screw me. I don't care about that. I'm going to quickly pay my respects to Tom Sizemore, actor I grew up watching a lot and movies I saw throughout my childhood and adolescence. Of course, Tom Sizemore from Heat, a very memorable limited performance in Enemy of the State, Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, and then, movies like True Romance, Natural Born Killers. Very sad. I hate seeing, actors who I grew up watching and just enjoyed just, move on, but that's life. So.
No, I mean, look, he was one of those guys that just popped up in a lot of different stuff. He was never a straight lead of big budget movies or anything, but he always had prominent roles in movies. You mentioned something like Saving Private Ryan, which he had a great role in. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because we're kind of getting to that period where a lot of the actors that we grew up watching are starting to kind of go away, and
Right.
It's super unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, and I just feel like, yeah, it's a bummer that over the next number of years there's going to be a lot more names added to that list. So,
well, none of that. He of course had a quite troubled.
Yeah, he did. He had a very troubled life. Yes.
Yeah. So, which it sucks that end early for him.
Yeah.
But that said, a great actor though. Like, he's so good. I talk about all the time. One of my favorite movies of all time. He's so good in that movie. Uncredited scene, Gio, you mentioned Enemy of the State. Uncredited in that movie. He just kind of showed up as a favor for.
Really?
Yeah. He just kind of showed up for a few days, shot both those beginning and end scenes for a few days, and that was it. Yeah. As a favor.
Well, I mean, it was easy. Half his lines were, "Did you make the videotape?"
Yes, right. oh, you made the tape. Federal government made the tape. And then shootout. But yeah.
And then how his character plays a role in what happens at the end. For those who haven't seen it, man, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace, sir. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Tom Sizemore ranking in the near future. I
gotta watch a few more movies
because it's so sporadic for a filmography, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But no, Gio, thank you so much for mentioning that. I appreciate that, man. Keith, what about you? How are you doing?
Pretty good. Got a lot of errands done today.
Yeah, you're off right now, huh? Vacay.
Week 2 of a 2-week vacation. Nearly halfway through there. So yeah. It's going to be some rough weather again coming up soon, I guess. Unfortunately,
this week.
Rest of this week. So yeah, got a lot of stuff done today. But listen, it's nice day today. I'm happy to be here at the beginning of the show. It's a lot of fun.
We're not pulling you in within like 5 or 10 minutes.
Right. I'm not running in here stressed and angry at traffic and work and
sweating.
Star Drew, what's up? How's it going? Karen, everybody, Gordon, how's it going, everybody? Thank you
Yeah,
all.
John Booze, nice hashtag. I get the reference.
Yes.
My hashtag days are pretty much retired, so
Are they, Mr. Aircut? Are they?
Well, Eric, yeah, well, okay.
Let's move on. I'm not getting into that conversation. We're moving
You
on.
started it.
So I just had to throw a little jab in there. Look, we obviously have two very big topics to talk about tonight. The show was completely different 6 hours ago. I'll tell you that much. It was completely different. And then the Hollywood Reporter and Variety decided to drop some major articles regarding Star Wars and The Punisher. And we, of course, are going to talk about them. So we have the Star Wars cancellations regarding Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins are going to be coming up here in just a little bit. And then we're going to be talking about the return of Jon Bernthal as the Punisher for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Daredevil Born Again. Super cool story. And we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But as we always do here on the channel, we're going to start with a little segment we like to call the Movie Watching Challenge. Gio stepping up there. Thank you so much, Gio. Appreciate it.
Hope I made you proud, Brian.
Brian,
Yeah, the logo for the movie watching challenge is Commander's colors.
Oh, the whole channel is Commander's colors.
Absolutely.
The whole channel.
Absolutely.
I'll have to get my editor on that. No, look, last week Jacob was challenged to watch The Age of Innocence, and Brian challenged him to a movie that he has never heard of before, Via the Wheel.
He thought it was Age of Adeline.
He thought it was Age of Adeline, correct. And Jacob's review is up on the channel now. You can check it out. It went up about 3 o'clock earlier today, and he reviewed The Age of Innocence up on there. The Martin Scorsese film with Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder. He had some very interesting thoughts on that. But the next part of all that is that Jacob gets to challenge someone. He is on here, so I'm doing the duties for him tonight. I'm sure that he wanted to challenge Brian, but Brian is off limits this week specifically because he has parent-teacher conferences at work. He's a little busy. So Jacob defaulted. Yeah, right. Jacob defaulted to his good old buddy and co-host, Mr. Keith Barnes. Keith Barnes is being challenged this week. Works out perfect.
Nice. Yeah, you got plenty of time.
He has plenty of time to watch a movie, check it out. And so I'm going to bring up the wheel. The 4 movies that he has challenged you to are Buried, Bad Moms, Strangers on a Train, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
I can't believe I haven't seen that. But okay.
I can't believe you haven't seen that either.
Wow.
And Wild Card. I've never seen that either.
And Wild Card. You're right. That's a crazy
J-Lo, man.
Wild Card's a crazy movie. Keith, look, this is a very sporadic wheel. There's a variety of movies on here. Is there anything that stands out that you would like to watch?
Oh, definitely Benjamin Button. I'm a David Fincher guy. Fincher guy. So yeah, I'm upset at myself for having not seen that one. That may be the only one of his I haven't seen. So definitely, if I had to choose that one, but I know Bad Moms is really funny. But those all look good.
Do you know what Buried is?
Buried. I know I asked about that before. It's Ryan Reynolds, right?
It's the Ryan Reynolds where he's buried in a coffin the entire movie.
In a coffin?
Trying to get out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. He's no, I mean, not really a coffin, more like a box.
I'm curious.
But
yeah, I'm actually curious what's going on there. But, okay.
It's very much like that Tom Hardy movie Lock, where the camera doesn't move him,
where it's just
move off him from the entire film. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Let's see what Keith will be watching this week.
Ooh.
There you go.
There it is.
Keith.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button, the movie that you wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
I'm gonna try to watch that tonight.
I cannot believe you haven't seen that movie.
I know. Yeah, I know Kate Blanchett's in it.
Yep.
I think Toby Jones in that movie. Maybe.
He's in everything.
Yeah.
Probably. Man, I remember I caught that movie in theaters. Like I went out of my way to watch it because I was just so intrigued by the concept of it. I was like, is that for real? Like,
so I don't know if this is like the main cast, but this is the cast that comes up right off the bat. Okay. Brad Pitt, Kate Blanchett, Taraji P. Henson,
I didn't know that.
Tilda Swinton, Jason Fleming, and Mahershala Ali, apparently.
What?
Elle Fanning,
that's right.
Harris.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I'm scrolling through. There's a couple other names that you would recognize their faces, but not necessarily the names if I said them. So actually, I mean, look, it's a David Fincher movie, so you would expect it, but there's definitely a lot of names in this movie that pop up, in one aspect or another, just because of the storyline. So, yeah.
I cannot wait. I might try to watch it tonight if I can. Yeah.
Let's see if it's streaming anywhere. It's on Prime Video. There you go.
Perfect. All right. Sweet.
How long is it? It's like 3 hours, right?
Yeah, it's long. Let me just double check real quick. It's a long
Yeah.
one. It is 2 hours and 46 minutes long.
Oh, you got that, Keith.
Okay.
It's not like you do anything.
I'll do that
more.
at home. The theater, I'd be crying, but
It depends on the movie.
All right, well, there it is. So
All right, cool.
You'll see Keith and hopefully Jacob's review of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button either later this week, depending on when Keith watches it, or next week. And then he'll be able to challenge someone next week on the segment as we do each and every week. So
I will
with
say,
that, go ahead.
Sorry, I did watch Age of Innocence along with Jacob. We were trying to.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. We were trying to sync up time to do a review. We couldn't quite do it. It's really, really good. Really good. It's so. Yeah, it's for a movie set in such a time frame with, a lot of high society New York in the mid 1800s. But it's really good. He and I were kind of tweeting, texting, because we were watching it kind of at the same time. But it's a different Scorsese movie. It's definitely different. It just made me think about him as a director, and kind of he's varied his filmography is, but it's so good. Dialogue is great. Daniel Day-Lewis is awesome. So I can't wait to see his review. You said it's up, right? Did you say it was up?
It is up. It's on the channel.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely check that out. I can't wait to see what he thinks about it. But I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I think you'll be. I'll reserve those comments. Go on.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah.
All right, let's get into it, everybody. Look, we're gonna start with Star Wars. Star Wars. Variety dropped a pretty decent size article earlier today regarding the future of Star Wars movies for the time being. Let's keep in mind that Celebration is officially a month away today. It takes place on April 7th. That is with the first day of it. So everything could change within a month. But for now, we have always kind of heard about 4 movies in development for Star Wars. It was we have Damon Lindelof's film, we have Taika Waititi's movie, we have Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, and we had the Kevin Feige movie, which we heard about a few times, and it was kind of just on the back burner. Well, officially today, 2 of those movies are off the docket. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron is no more, as well as Kevin Feige's produced Star Wars film is no more. Taika's movie is officially moving forward. He's in the development stage. He's writing, and he's also planning to star in it. And then Damon Lindelof's film, I think, has been the farthest along out of all of them. It wasn't in the article, really. So I'm sure that we'll hear much more of that when Star Wars Celebration comes. But let's talk about this. And I don't know where everybody wants to start. Maybe some immediate reactions before we kind of dive into it. The secret or Lucasfilm's struggles with Star Wars movies is no secret. It hasn't been a secret for the past couple of years. It seems like they just have had a very difficult time figuring out where they want to go with these movies, whether it be a franchise, single movies, whatever time period. But it looks like they might be reevaluating and going in a direction that hopefully suits the franchise for a long, long future. Gio, I'll go to you first, man. Just kind of reaction to all of this and hearing that even though it felt, like it was coming, we now know that those 2 movies are quote unquote shelved for the time being.
Yeah, it only raises more questions about the direction of Star Wars movies on the big screen. Are they really trying to do another, what's the word? Saga, I guess, something like where it's all connected, as opposed to I'm more in favor of, the one-offs like a Rogue Squadron or like a one-off of the book of, not Book of but Boba Fett when it was a movie and being developed by Trank,
Yeah.
I'm ready to get away from the episodes and all that kind of stuff, like expand the world even more, or at least, give us projects that, make fans excited again, like Rogue Squadron. That's all. That was the universe telling me just immediate thoughts.
What?
That's well, you said immediate thoughts.
No, you're right. You're right. I like it.
Go
I
ahead.
like the segue there. Keith, what about you?
Oh, well, I've talked about how much I was looking forward to Rogue Squadron. So
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
Yeah. So all I'd say is boo. this is upsetting. That was out kind of out and about, so I didn't get to read anything about this when that just kind of popped up. So until you saw it in a group chat, and I kind of went, what? I don't even know what to say. That one's upsetting. So is it just, you said Rogue Squadron or just Patty Jenkins? Like they're scrapping that project entirely?
That project, Rogue Squadron, is they're using the word shelved for the moment. So put on the back burner, shelving, whatever you want to call it. Right. That movie is not happening right now.
Gosh, that's all right, man. This would have been something cool and different. We haven't actual space battle stuff. Like,
me too.
But anyway, I mean, whatever. Like all the TV shows, like I said, I've enjoyed all the TV series, like literally all of them. The live action ones, I haven't gotten through all of.
Shame on you.
Bad. What's it called?
Shame on you. Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Yeah.
Shame on you.
Yeah. I've watched the first 5 of the first season. It's good. It's really good. I just haven't got through it all. But I've enjoyed all the TV series. I know you guys, like you mentioned last week, like you'd rather see more movies, but I'm okay with the TV for now. But at a certain point, I would like to. I don't know, like you mentioned. What direction are they going? I don't know. I could probably do without the episodic stuff as well. More one-off stuff, but like we mentioned, also like with Warner Brothers too, like maybe just do more single, standalone movies. But I don't know. I'm curious about this Taika Waititi one though.
The Taika one's gonna be super, super interesting.
It must be good.
I mean, you know how he is. He gets creative and weird and wacky and.
Well, after Thor, the last one, it sounded like they're like, well, I don't know about that Taika Star Wars movie.
I don't think that was ever in danger. I think it was more of like, maybe we won't let you go to Taika Waititi on this movie,
yeah, it's still got to kind of play in the theme of like what Star Wars is, like not too crazy, but enough, like Ragnarok. Like Ragnarok was very much like that perfect blend of the two.
Right.
And which we've seen Lucasfilm do before. Most famously, the Phil Lord and Chris Miller, when they had Solo, and then like, how far were they, Jake, in shooting that? They were like 3/4,
right?
They were probably like 70 to 80% done with that movie.
80% done, and the next thing you know, they're like, this ain't Star Wars. We're gonna pull it. It's like, what?
That if there's ever something I could see, it's the original version of Rogue One and that. Like, I'd love to see what that original Solo Lord Miller was going to be.
Well, before we continue on, our fourth member for tonight is here. Let me go and bring him on. Mr. Bartley.
What's up, guys?
Welcome.
Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
Because restaurants need to get their orders right. But I'm okay now. At least I didn't eat in front of you guys. That's all.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Definitely. Would you rather have me here early, or like you want to hear like my mouth? No, we don't want that.
Look, so back on the Star Wars train just for a little bit. And Jacob, are you read the article? You kind of know the information. I have to break it down for you.
I know the basics. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we'll just get back into the conversation here. I mean, we talked about it last week when we kind of covered the future of it, and we were covering all three of those big franchises. It definitely seems like they're just reevaluating, and hopefully it means that they have a plan and that they understand what the direction that they want to go in is, whether that be, and I'm with you guys. I don't need sagas, but if they want to do, like a trilogy of movies, I'd be all for that.
Sure. Yeah.
But I also don't need that. I also am 100% fine with individual stories because of how big the galaxy is and how like large in timeline the galaxy is. Like, you have so much time and space to tell stories in Star Wars. I wouldn't mind for the next, let's say 10 years, we get 3 to 5 individually set movies, and then we get back into the game of maybe a trilogy or a set of movies or whatever it may be. It's I don't know. I just want to plan. I just want to understand what's happening and understand who's involved. They had, without confirmation on anything before today, they had Taika's movie, Damon Lindelof's, Patty Jenkins, Kevin Feige, and technically Ryan Johnson's movies all kind of just sitting in limbo. Like, we don't know what's happening, where it's going, etc. Now 2 of those are just taken off for a little bit, at least for now. They're put on the shelf, hopefully until a later date, and eventually we get to see them, but who knows?
Yeah.
So it looks like I don't want to use the term like cutting the fat, because they're not, but they're trimming down to make sure that they have the right idea of what they're doing. And I'm okay with that. Don't put too much on your plate. We saw them do that before. They made 5 movies in like 3.5 years or 4 years or whatever. Don't do that again. Like, I'm okay with getting 1 movie over the next 3 years. As long as we're getting a movie here and there, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, you go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, all right. So basically, we just know, the Patty Jenkins and the Kevin Feige one are shelved for now, and the Taika Waititi one is still in play, basically.
Yep.
But we don't know when or what. Or
so there is an official release date that Disney has for Star Wars in December of 25.
Oh, but it's not that movie, but they have a release date.
It's just a release date for a random Star Wars movie that we don't know what it is.
Look, this makes sense because, all of this stuff was either planned before Iger left for the first time or while he was gone, right? So
I think it was while he was gone.
He's reevaluating everything.
Yeah.
Look, just because it's Kevin Feige doesn't mean they have to do it. Like, even though that might be the best one to go with, I think they're worried about, because remember Michael Waldron was supposed to write it, and then after Doctor Strange, maybe they weren't happy with that, and like maybe they're trying to get a new writer in there. But I don't know. But, so like I thought Kevin Feige's was safe. Like, I thought we were for sure getting Feige's, and I guess that's not the case, but I don't necessarily, I still want to see that one day. Like, I know he loves Star Wars, so I would love to see that. But I just keep coming back to, like, okay, these are smart, intelligent people, right? Like, in these boardroom meetings talking about this. Well, it should be, right? What's the problem? Like, what's taking so long? Why aren't they putting something on the table? Got a plan? Like, let's do it. Like, I don't get it.
Because it's the same thing that Warner Brothers dealt with the last couple of years before this new regime. It's like you got too many hands in the kitchen, and like, do we do what the fans want, or do we do what the studio execs want? And that's why we haven't seen anything on the big screen for a while. It's like they can't figure it out. There's too many people chiming in, and it's just bizarre,
And then, like, we don't know what's a part of what. Like, is the writers' room they put together for what is the era called? Like 200 years before Phantom Menace? It's
the High Republic.
The High Republic, right? But that was just for canon, like not the movies.
Well,
right?
It was that. Like, those were just books and comics for the time.
Yeah, books and comics. But like, we thought we might see some of that trickle in to live action.
Well, they're doing a kid animated show that's High Republic. That's official.
Yeah.
There's already storyboards for that. And then the Acolyte takes place technically at the end of the High Republic era.
Yeah. Oh, does it?
So that's that. If you were to technically put that, that's the first ever live action High Republic timeline story. But it really kind of won't be, but might be.
It's not officially. It just takes time in the era that
it's not.
Create,
it's not
right?
in the timeline of High Republic that we've been learning stories about right now. But it takes place in that timeline.
So I know there's like an ongoing debate, and even between us, like, should they do characters and timelines that we know, or should they just do completely new stuff? Why can't we have both?
Yeah, because
we can.
The general audience, they have no idea. They don't care. It's Star Wars. It's space battles and Jedi and Mandalorians now. Even though there's but still, it's just like
I think there's room for both. Like,
just tell good stories.
I would say, like, I want 60% new stuff and then 40%, stuff we're familiar with. I'm not saying like characters that we know. It could just be a time period that we're familiar with, or a concept or something. But I mean, I'm telling you guys, we will see Grogu in the future past the Force Awakens timeline. One day we will see that. And I don't know why. I just told my roommate this. Why don't they grab Rey, say, "Hey, Rey, it's 15 years after Rise of Skywalker," and then somehow she connects with Grogu. Boom, $2 billion, and they recreate the Jedi Order together. Why not? Why not? See, people say, "No, we already know those characters. We've seen them before. Let's do something new." But I'm like, why not do that?
Well, I don't think
Because you're shrinking the universe.
Yeah, and I think that
the whole point that I just said is, imagine we're getting 60% brand new stuff all the time, and then they also do this Rey Grogu storyline in the future.
But the idea of, well, we're gonna have Rey and Grogu. We're gonna make $2 billion. It's fine. It automatically, you got it. Well, Gio just hit on a good point. Make a good story. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think just automatically going, let's get these two people that we know. Let's just do a movie and then we're fine. We're gonna make $1 billion.
I'm not saying that because whether Rey's popular or not, whether Rey is popular or not is debatable. But I'm not saying bring these two characters because they're popular. To me, it makes sense because unless you say Grogu dies sometime, at a very, very young age, then he's around. So to me, it makes sense.
So
is
I don't
around.
want to
Go
harp
ahead,
on
Jim.
that too much, but I will just say, if you do that, where was he during the sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
And then if you say, oh, he's in hiding, that's just Yoda all over again in the original trilogy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
for me, that doesn't work. But that's
then the only alternative is he's dead.
okay. What if that happens?
That's not
And that's
necessarily
pretty hard. If they're gonna kill Grogu in his first 200 years,
But you can also write him off as like maybe he's not doing that anymore, or he's somewhere else
That's
in the
what
galaxy.
I'm saying. You can
or
write
like-
any number of reasons why he's not around.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big universe. He could be anywhere. He could be.
And also right now-
you could also write a reason why he's gone and he comes back too.
But also, Jacob, you also have to
Sure.
keep in mind the Mandalorian. Right now, his path isn't becoming a Jedi; it's becoming a Mandalorian. So he might
Okay.
not be on the path to do that.
Being a Jedi and being a Force user is semantics. He's not cutting himself off from the Force. He's still
Yeah, but-
using it.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he would be lined up.
But
with
he
what
would
the
be,
Rey's trying
but
to
he
do.
would be following the ways of the Mandalorian rather than following the Jedi ways, which is where Rey is.
Exactly.
So the thing is, though, Grogu's gonna live for 900 plus years.
If he survives that long.
If he survives, yeah. What if he gets shot?
And remember,
Oh,
also,
yeah.
let's keep in mind, like, what if he becomes a leader of Mandalore one day? He's not going to give up that to go fight alongside Rey. He's going to serve his people.
Wait a minute, Grogu's going to become a leader of Mandalore?
If he does,
Maybe.
then that means Mandalore has been around. Like,
I haven't seen the first episode yet, so
yeah.
dang.
So
It has not. What I just said has nothing to do with the first episode.
No, I don't care. You could tell me what happens at the end. I don't care.
no,
But,
it doesn't. But yeah, I
He
just think
shows up and he takes over Mandalore at the end of the first episode.
either way, even if you say, "Hey, Grogu's running Mandalore now," dang, Rey's in trouble. Jedi Order needs some help. Let's go work with the Mandalorians.
I
What's
understand your
wrong with
love,
that?
Jacob. I
I get
understand
what
your
you're
love of wanting to try to get these characters together, but sometimes it just won't work. Like,
I think it would work.
Or maybe,
You guys
or
are
maybe
trying too hard to argue against it.
No, it's
I
not
just
that.
I don't want to see the same stuff over and over and over again.
No, here's the thing. If
That's me. Same.
Rey and Grogu are on screen together,
That's why I prefaced my argument with, okay, we're getting new shit too.
60-40 is too close together.
Fine, 70-30,
I want
but one of them is the Rey project.
85-15. 85-15.
Fine,
or
but one of them
something.
is
You
the
know what?
Rey Grogu quadrilogy.
All that, everything said, there's no rush though. Like I'm okay with them taking their time.
Well, to
Because we
be
got
fair,
some- we
Keith,
got
you're
good TV
right.
content.
They could wait 10 years and still do this.
That's what
They could wait
sure.
20 years and still do my idea. So there is no rush. You're right.
Yeah.
Because
That's
Rey
in my-
doesn't matter. Rey's going to age with wherever they say the character is at that time. You know, like Daisy Ridley, I mean.
So the one in 25, that's the only one, right? That we know about so far.
They set a bunch of release dates. Let's see. Well, this was a long time ago, though. Like a long time ago.
no, but to Andy's
We're all laughing at
point,
the same thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Curtis,
yeah.
very good.
to Andy's point, though, I think it's important to mention because I just reread the article while you guys were debating. You're right, Andy. And Variety, the major trades have been known to do this with another IP that I'm very passionate about, but a lot of it was just filler recapping and speculative and sources. That's my favorite fucking word in journalism nowadays. Sources close to the production says it's this and it's that.
What do they call that?
And-
SEO or something like that, where they just got to fill in certain word count or whatever. Yeah.
And so, like, I just take it with a grain of salt. God, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Kevin Feige Star Wars was shelved, because what did we just talk about last week? Course correction, right? Bob Iger has Kevin Feige busy, rearranging things and MCU stuff. And then with Patty Jenkins thing, we haven't heard a damn thing since that little not fan, but trailer that she made where she's rollerblading towards, her car and doing that. And then, so that wouldn't surprise me either.
Man.
So
there are two release dates for Star Wars, one in December of 25 and one in December of 27. So
oh wow, okay.
Was it? Who's working on an animated film with Star Wars? Is it going to be theatrical? Is it Ghibli Studios, or is that what it's called?
Well, no. Well, you mean Star Wars Visions?
No. Remember they're
they do
teaming
that?
with
Ghibli, Studio Ghibli released a Grogu short
Oh, did they?
on Disney Plus already. It was like 3 minutes long.
Is that what they were talking about? Remember they were going to partner on something?
That's what they're doing a bunch of shorts because they're also doing a droid short as well.
I thought they were actually going to do like a animated theatrical movie. I thought.
Well, they might in the future, but right now they only release the shorts, and then Star Wars Visions Season 2 is coming out.
Okay.
Maybe this year.
Yeah.
And those are also just a bunch of animated episodes of characters that we've never met before. So.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm disappointed in the Patty Jenkins one, but like I said, as much as I would like to, I'm good with the TV stuff. All right. I would like to see what direction they're going with the next movie, whatever it's going to be. But and like I said, it's interesting. Taika Waititi, I don't know.
Is that true that he wants to star in the movie too?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love him. Yeah. No, that's right.
You guys, maybe you guys talked about it before I got on, but like, do you guys want that? Like, start writing, directing, and starring?
Why not?
He did it with Jojo Rabbit. He did it with Ragnarok, and
he's done it with a bunch.
Okay, so I take the word as starring as he's the lead. That's how.
I mean, he kind of was the lead in Jojo Rabbit, though. He was in the movie.
He has a major role.
Did he voice the droid, right? Or what was that droid?
Well,
he was in There Will Be What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, he was.
Who has watched the first episode of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And Gio, you don't care, right?
No, I don't give a fuck. Tell me what happened.
They're reviving IG-11 in the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
That was him.
I'm not saying they're gonna do an IG-11 movie, but his character.
Oh, you're saying like just have IG-11 in his movie?
But wait a minute, the way he went out, that's what made that one of the best episodes in like all of Star Wars TV.
It all makes sense when you watch it, Gio.
You have to watch. Yeah, you got to see what.
Stop bringing fucking characters back to life. Damn it.
No, but Gio, you got to watch it. There's a reason. It actually makes
sense.
Bringing characters back to life. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, Palpatine.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. No, look. I think we're all on the same page when it comes to this. We want to see new and exciting things, and we just want to plan of where it is all headed, what is being released, when it's being released, the stories. Like I've prefaced a couple times, Star Wars Celebration happens in a month. I have no doubt that we'll learn much, much more after that weekend. Just off the head right now, I would say that Damon Lindelof's film is probably that December 25 release date. It seems to be the one that's most concrete right now going forward. But it could very much be Taika's movie if he gets going on it quick enough, or something else that maybe we haven't heard of. But in a month, we'll definitely learn a lot more. And I expect to know where at least one movie is headed for Star Wars, hopefully anyway. So
just one.
That's all I want.
Just one.
Look at what we
are. Getting older.
We want.
Well, we still got. Older. I mean, look, you still got Ahsoka. Ahsoka's this year, right? Is that this year?
Yes, but Keith, like
You still got.
You also need Star Wars movies. Like, come on. There's nothing like going to a Star Wars movie.
I agree,
No,
but
and
if you get 8 episodes of Star Wars stuff, I mean that's. Cool.
I know, but there's
here's the
nothing
thing.
like there's a big difference. Like, I love Mandalorian, I love Ahsoka, I love it, but there's nothing like going to a movie theater and watching a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's about the theatrical experience, not the
Of course.
what we're actually watching on screen. Yeah,
And as much as many blockbusters that are coming out this year, it just it doesn't feel the same without a Star Wars movie either coming out that year or like coming out soon, like within the next couple of years. That's what the theatrical thing has been
like
missing.
looking forward to a trailer or like an Empire magazine drop or anything. Like, we don't have that for Star Wars movies. So,
well, listen, Lucasfilm's teaching all three of you, a lesson. Maybe you'll learn to appreciate Star Wars instead of.
I don't appreciate Star Wars.
Wait. What do you mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
because you're talking to somebody who enjoys the prequels, okay? And
I enjoy the prequels.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got season 2
for a
of.
long time.
I don't know when season 2 of. Oh man, what's his name? Diego Luna. Oh my God.
Andor.
Oh,
Andor,
yeah.
Is that?
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's
right?
great. Like,
Andor's next year.
Yeah.
Streaming stuff is great, but like, come on, a movie.
Obi-Wan. Is there any talk of season 2 of that, or was that? It?
That probably won't happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know,
There's
but
still
hey,
stuff he could do.
Maybe,
Patty
I mean,
Jenkins.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wants to come back, but we'll see.
Patty Jenkins. Call James Gunn. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
He's still
I agree.
looking
Here
for
we go.
filmmakers.
Okay, so
100%
last
agree.
comment on this before we move on. Andy put here, this comes from the Celebration description. Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many current and upcoming Star Wars adventures. Is the description for the first panel of Celebration, which is the studio showcase panel, I believe is what it's called.
Do we know what day that is?
It's going to be on the Thursday. It's the first day. Because I was in attendance at last year's studio showcase. So it's an incredible experience. It's very, very cool. And then there's tons of panels after that regarding, like, you know, there will probably be like an Ahsoka panel or the television panel, etc. There will probably be updates on if it's going to be able to be streamed. I'm not sure. I know they did some streaming at last year's, but they obviously blacked out some stuff that they wanted to exclusively show to the crowd there in attendance. So we'll see, and we'll cover it if we can. We'll definitely cover it if we can here, and if we're able to, as far as streaming and everything like that goes. So
that game was.
Oh, that's next month, right? Okay.
It's April 7th.
Yeah.
Falls on my day off. Great.
Perfect.
Where is it?
Maybe I'll take it off with you, Gio. Maybe I'll take it off with you.
There you go.
Say it again.
Where is it? You know where?
London.
Oh, it's on a Friday?
Oh wow.
Oh,
They-
well,
No, it's Thursday through Sunday, guys. It's a 4-day event. Yeah. They do international and then US.
Oh, that's
International
right.
US
That's
is
right.
what
Yeah.
they do. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some Marvel stuff. And I know that it's been a lot of this over the last couple weeks on the channel, but it seems like the conversation never stops when it comes to this. But this one is a cool one. This one's very, very cool. The Hollywood Reporter reported earlier today that Mr. Frank Castle, Jon Bernthal, will be returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He will be in Daredevil Born Again. So we officially have our Punisher inside the MCU, which is very exciting to know that another character from that Marvel TV Netflix world is making the jump. Unfortunately, just for the time being, their names were not mentioned. Foggy Nelson and Karen Page are not going to be involved. The actor and actress will not be involved for the time being. They were not on the casting list or the call list for the show. But that does not mean that they won't show up at some point. Now, whether or not they're recasted, rebooted, whatever, time will tell. But there is a possibility for them to show up in the future. Let's keep in mind that this show can take place somewhere else in the world that's not New York City, where both Foggy and Karen reside. So let's not get our panties in a wad when it comes to that. Well, let's talk about the Punisher and his return. We are seeing him return in a Daredevil show. The show is 18 episodes long. It is Daredevil. It is Kingpin. It is Punisher. Gents, I'm going to Jacob first because I know Jacob's loving this. Jacob, come on. Bring it home.
Yeah, this is so good. This is so good to hear. And Keith, I'm sorry, but I disagree with you. You said there's nothing much to say about this. I disagree because We didn't know that we were going to get Jon Bernthal back. And if
I
they
did.
could leave one of them out,
Okay.
it would be him because they would say, oh, that character's too violent. Like there was a possibility that Marvel wasn't even going to touch Punisher at all anytime soon because there's a lot of controversy around the character as well. So the fact that we're getting the Punisher in general and that Jon Bernthal is coming back is amazing. He was born to play the Punisher. He embodies the Punisher for me. He's the best iteration in my opinion. And out of all the Netflix Marvelverse, right, that's coming over, like Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox would be my number one choice. Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio would probably be number 2.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Number 3 would be Jon Bernthal's Punisher. Like I don't even mind if they leave all the rest out. Just even if they just have these 3 in, I'm good with that. So I'm happy. You know what when I saw this news earlier today, we always talk about the things we want to happen. And when they happen, we don't appreciate it that much. So I'm deciding to appreciate when things happen that I want to happen. So I'm happy about this. It's amazing news. I love it.
Well, Keith, I know you got a lot to say on this, so go ahead, take it away.
And is that a Commander's hat, Keith? Nice.
Yes, it is. Yes. I'm wearing both my 2 of my birthday presents here.
Oh,
It's ironic that
nice,
that
man.
Commanders have a W on their hat. So
Wow. Well,
Gio, I'm just gonna let that. We'll deal with that later. Mr. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy still hasn't had the surgery yet. Had the surgery today. Anyway, sorry.
Trey area.
No, this is cool. Listen, it's cool. Okay. For me, it was just a matter of, okay, because we don't know what. They're doing Born Again, right? Which is a cool story. I'm glad they're including the Punisher and Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, I should say. It's funny that this came out because I actually have literally, it's on my screen right now. Was watching season 2 of Daredevil over the weekend.
oh wow.
Literally watched all the Punisher episodes up to when he got.
I'm finishing season 3 of Daredevil right now too, and I'm gonna go to the Punisher next.
Right. Yeah. So it was. I saw that news, and I went, "Oh, that's hilarious." I was just watching this. But listen, Jon Bernthal, he's a great actor. Everything you said, Jacob, is correct. It's gonna be a lot of him and his a lot of that, or maybe I don't know, maybe less of that. No, if it'll be slightly less violent, I don't know.
Hey, Punisher season 2 was great.
It is very good. Yeah, very, very good. Disappointed about the Foggy and Karen Page actors, but I am hoping to see Elektra. I will say that.
Elodie Young.
She was awesome as Elektra.
She was great.
So
she would be the one other person from the universe I would like to be brought over.
Yeah. I know she's got another series, I think on like Fox or something that she's doing.
Oh,
Cleaning lady or something like that?
The cleaner lady, yeah. I said the nurse.
Looks pretty. But yeah, I would love to see her. But hey, it's cool. I'm I wasn't trying to be like, who cares?
So do you think it's just like not that big of a deal?
I don't know. Huh?
You just think it's like not that big of a deal, or did you always expect this?
I sort of expected it, and also in terms of we don't know.
I would imagine
what the series is going to be and what
just how Daredevil was slightly like he was a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but he was changed up a little bit. I think Jon Bernthal will be as well.
Yeah, what's I'm saying. Yeah, well, we get a little more clear about what the series is going to be, then I can talk more. I think I can have more to say in terms of that. But fair. The casting, Jon Bernthal is great, and we've seen him as a Punisher, and we know how good he is. So like, it's not. Good call. It seemed like it was the only way to go. It'd be crazy to recast when they brought back
for sure. Yeah,
they brought back Kingpin and
and
Vincent D'Onofrio,
Matt Murdock,
and Charlie Cox. Yeah, so it'd be crazy to right. So now I'm hearing, of course, now I'm hoping Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. I'm okay with Iron Fist guy.
So am I.
Finn Jones?
Finn Jones.
I think so,
yeah.
He's from Game of Thrones.
Him or Jennifer Henwick be Iron Fist. One of them.
Well,
until
technically,
Yeah.
right now inside the universe,
Right.
Jessica
She
Henwick is.
Yeah, Jessica Henwick. That's what I meant. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Colleen Wing, right?
Colleen Wing.
Colleen Wing. Yep.
So yeah.
Look,
I
I mean, I'm kind of with Andy in the sense that I was not expecting Punisher to be in
No,
this.
me neither.
I thought it was going to be a really focused on Daredevil Kingpin story and really diving into that relationship because it is, when it comes to villains, Kingpin is Daredevil's biggest, and I'm sure Kevin Feige wants to tell that story, but I'm loving the fact that they're doing this, and it also means that they're paying attention to the relationship that the two had in that Netflix series.
Yeah.
It started off rough, but they became good old kind of, they were still on a little bit of iffy terms, but they became good old buddies. Yeah, like Frank Castle
Sneak
saved
around,
Daredevil at the end
Red.
of the series.
Right.
Like he came back and saved Matt Murdock at the end of that series when he was fighting the Hand. So if he wasn't there, he would have died. So they have a lot of respect for each other and what they're doing. They may not believe in the way they handle things, but Matt Murdock's not the same last time they met. I bet you Frank Castle's not the same the next time they met. Or meet. And I'm super excited. And I think that's a super cool addition. It just takes me back to season 2 days. I just rewatched it over last couple of months. I want to rewatch it again now just because he's in it. But also, Jon Bernthal has always said that, he loves the character of Frank Castle and that he would always love to come back and play the character Frank Castle if the story was right. He would only do it if the story made sense, if it felt right. And that, to me, is telling me, okay, like this story is good. Like if he's coming back to play this character, this story's got to be good and it has to make sense and it has to fit what Jon Bernthal wants to tell with this character. He wouldn't do this just to do this, because if he wouldn't agree, Marvel would just probably recast him because they want to use the character of Punisher. But he has signed on to do this, and that means that the story is tight knit and ready to go. And I'm excited for it, man. I love that they're doing this.
I want to share a throwback photo. This is 2016, the year after, or might have been the same year, Daredevil season 2. This is my Halloween costume right here.
Nice.
Yeah. Dope. John Morant. Anyways, yeah. No surprise, Jon Bernthal is back. He's just too good. He's up there with, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, just perfect casting. Don't worry, guys. Foggy and Karen will be back. And Jessica Jones, just patience.
Can you give us an answer on Iron Fist, Gio?
Kristen
Come on,
Ritter?
I need to know.
No.
Okay.
At least not yet.
Well, Keith, to answer your Jessica Jones thing earlier, I don't know if you heard the rumors, Keith, but because Daredevil is going to be an Echo, the rumors for the last number of months is that he is looking for her in Echo.
Daredevil.
Daredevil is looking for Jessica Jones.
Looking for
in
Jessica
Echo.
Jones. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right.
So I don't know. Just keep that in mind.
I think you both touched on it, Jake and Jacob, but like don't expect the same Frank Castle that you got from Netflix. Clearly they're gonna I don't know, do some sort of adjustment. We saw it with Daredevil and She-Hulk. The thing that I'm just most excited about, I mean, obviously, seeing Daredevil and Punisher together, and interacting, but also just the Punisher in the MCU, which means there's a chance, Spider-Man, right? Webhead. That could be a fun interaction. And other characters. That for me, I think that's what I'm most excited about, As much as people complain about Quantum Mania and just the going out to different universes or realms or whatever you want to call it, Marvel is also paving a way for street level, look how No Way Home ended, right? I mean, it's Spider-Man going back to his roots and being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You got She-Hulk and the popularity with that, and Daredevil coming in, and Punisher coming in, and Kingpin. being a looming threat, assuming he didn't die at the end of Hawkeye. But
He didn't die.
he didn't die. Stop bringing characters back to life. Damn it.
Well,
Anyways.
you can't bring him back to life if he didn't die.
Yeah.
Well, maybe something
He
else
never
happened. I
died.
don't know. Shit. But anyways, yeah, it's all exciting. I'm happy Jon Bernthal is back. I'm sure he's even more ecstatic.
One batch, two batch. That's all I want to see.
Oh,
I just want
yeah.
to see him.
Penny and dime.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you guys for finishing that. Appreciate that. I
Yeah.
was leaving it for someone to finish. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just literally just watched that.
Yeah.
Just watched that episode. Captain
Go ahead,
America.
Keith.
I was gonna say Captain America. I wonder if he'll. I know he's part of the Born Again story. I don't know if. I kind of wonder if Punisher will fill that role, or will they maybe bring in Anthony Mackie? Maybe as a.
I don't think you'll see him. I think he's going to be off doing his own thing. He's going to be fighting the president. So
Maybe fighting the president. I mean,
that's the storyline for New World Order. You don't know that?
Oh no, really?
Harrison
And
Ford is the president, and it's Captain America versus the president.
they're going to be
Ross?
fighting
Thunderbolt
over
Ross is gonna be the president?
something.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross is
And
now
it's
the
Harrison
president.
Ford, but
Oh,
wait, I was thinking
Wow.
about this. So for
I didn't know that.
Thunderbolts, the Thunderbolts aren't they like a team? They're named after Thunderbolt Ross, right?
Yes.
Aren't they?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is Harrison Ford going to be in that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
There's a lot of this is exciting. It's exciting. Wait, do the Thunderbolts fight on his side though? Like at all
well,
times?
They're-
Well, it varies, but most of the time, yes.
So could it be like Cap and whoever he gets against the Thunderbolt at
Yes.
some point?
Yes.
Damn.
It could
okay.
be Avengers versus Thunderbolts. Literally, we could have that.
You know,
But you
Jacob
can't
wasn't
have
here when
like
we talked
Scarlet
about
Witch
it.
on the Avengers in that sense.
Yeah.
You could if you wanted to.
You could, yeah.
She would
West Coast
murk
Avengers.
all of them in 2 seconds.
No,
Unless
because the Thunderbolts technically could have a magic user in the Hood if that ever happens.
that's
And
fair.
the Hood is the villain of the Ironheart series.
Well, if we go with the lineup they
or
have
not
now,
not villain, but sorry.
it would have to be like, Bucky, Spider-Man, Cap. Like it would have to be those type of characters, not like super powered ones. Like Captain Marvel would wipe all them out by herself.
Well, yeah.
Keep
she'll
your
be on
eye.
the way.
Keep
Yeah.
your eye on Armor Wars.
Okay,
Armor Wars, yeah.
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 Hmm.
So
I'm excited.
that's cool. 18 episodes too. 18 episodes for.
Yeah, but keep in mind that they might be like the Mandalorian style, where it's like 30 to 40 minute episodes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
still,
They're not
still
gonna be
18.
full. It's not going to be 18 hours of television. It'll probably be like 9 hours.
But
of
still,
television.
that's better than
That's a lot, though.
8
Yeah, it's still a lot.
episodes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well,
All right.
depends on the story, but yeah, I think, man, that's a lot. That's 18 weeks of well, assuming they don't release multiple
Oh.
episodes in the first week. So.
yeah, something like that, or maybe like a small little break in between, or something like a couple weeks or something. I don't know.
Nope, never.
18 straight weeks.
Yeah, why not? They're doing it with Bad Batch. They're doing 16 or like 14 straight weeks.
Oh, they better. I hate like what's going on with Yellowstone right now. It's like on break until the summertime. Like
What are you talking about?
Like-
TV shows always take a mid-season break,
no,
Jacob.
but
We went through the
not that
Arrowverse
long.
together.
Not
Well, that's what I'm
that
saying
long.
about.
We went through the freaking Arrowverse
I know,
together where
but-
they took like 3-month breaks.
They'll take off like a couple weeks, not like that long. That's crazy. But I heard they're
Well-
done with that. So
well,
that's another story.
Shout out to Grant Gustin. They just filmed their final scene with him as Barry
Oh.
Allen, the Flash. So I don't know if you guys
We'll
saw
see
that
him
video.
again, though, right, Gio? Right, Gio?
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Ah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see him
yeah,
again.
yeah. Maybe
'cause
in a
he
movie.
publicly came out and said that chapter of my life is over. I want to move on, is what he said.
Just like Andrew Garfield.
Okay. I was just about to say that. Yeah, Andrew Garfield lied to us for 2 years, but no, probably. Yeah.
You
But Andrew
might
Garfield's a
see
better actor,
him.
though, so he could probably lie to us. and we
You
believe
might
him.
see him this summer. That's all I'm saying.
He's not. Oh my god. I really don't want to get into that crap.
Flash versus Punisher.
There we go.
No, let's not.
No, the
let's
Flash
not keep-
wins. All
So
right?
I want to ask all of you a question. Other than Daredevil, which already established MCU character are you most excited to see Punisher or would like to see Punisher interact with?
Deadpool.
Okay.
Sure.
That's a great
Deadpool.
Oh my
Go ahead.
gosh, that's a great
Keith.
one.
Barley Barnes, you can't say the same one. So go
Well,
ahead.
he made his
You have to pick
debut.
one.
he was hired by Kingpin to hunt Spider-Man in his comic debut.
So you saying Spider-Man?
Moon Knight.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
Do you think we'll
They have
see Moon Knight?
interactions.
They do. They definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely do. I wonder if we'll see. Do you think we'll see Moon Knight in any of the stuff coming up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. In a certain extent, I think there's going to be multiple, let's say multiple tiers of heroes kind of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know,
okay.
like let's just for the sake of the argument, let's say like ground level, atmospheric level, space level, dimension
look at
level,
even
etc.
like Kang, right? He has like the Pharaoh version of himself, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's saying that ties into to Moon Knight and Khonshu and all that.
Yeah, it's gonna be all that war, and I don't think we're gonna see every single. I mean, maybe we might see every single character. I don't know, but there's obviously a lot of them, and I think that look, we saw it in Endgame.
Yeah,
We saw just a glimpse of like Howard the Duck, and we saw glimpses of characters that we hadn't seen in a while, and then we never saw them again. So they definitely could do something like that. Like they could show Moon Knight, show him running into an action scene, and that's all we need. Like that's all that needs to happen, you know? Obviously it would be a little bit of a bummer because he's an actual like hero that we've met and we've had a series with, but they're establishing so many characters that you can't do that with every single character. And by the time we get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, there's going to be probably double the size in characters available to use. So it's going to be difficult to use that many characters for prominent lengths of time.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll get like a lot of them in Kang Dynasty, and then other ones will get shine in the next one in Secret Wars. You know, like.
Well, it's gonna be an Infinity War Endgame situation where most of the characters aren't around, and then they get brought into one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that whoever we see is like. I don't even know if that's what they'll be, but whoever's like the main Avengers is going to be the group that takes on Kang first. Something happens to them, and then like a second wave has to come in or something. Like that's kind of what I expect to happen. Like maybe they get locked in to a dimension or something, and they can't get out. You know, like I'm thinking like Cap, Shang-Chi,
definitely
Doctor
Shang-Chi.
Strange. Like I'm thinking like the characters that have like been in the focus over the last 2 years, like Cap, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, possibly Captain Marvel, maybe
Shuri.
Maybe Shuri. Shuri for sure, I think, is probably going to be in there. I think they're like the first wave that boom, something happens, and then the second and third wave kind of have to come together and band together and find out what happened, but also battle at the same time. So
Young Avengers, all the Young Avengers characters are there. So maybe they'll be
they all get wiped out in 2 seconds.
I think I think the Young Avengers is possible. I don't see why there would be an issue with. I don't see why anybody would have a problem with like, let's say, and I'm just using this as a reference, but when it comes to something like the Justice League, a lot of the time the Justice League takes on the bigger worldly space threats, right? They go off and they do the giant things. And what happens? The younger crew stays behind as their backup. And they fight the battles that the Justice League aren't there, the smaller fights, etc. I don't have a problem at all if the Avengers are off-world, whatever, something happens, and we see a scene or two where the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop, and Cassie and the young kid Isaiah Bradley, the Captain America, like Ironheart and Scarlet Witch's kids, like if they randomly get together somehow and they have to fight off a threat in the town of like New York or San Francisco or whatever, I would not have a problem with that at all.
Can Spider-Man go back and forth to each team? Like,
I think Spider-Man is going to be, well, depending on where his story is by the time we see Kang Dynasty, because right now nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
they know the character Spider-Man. They don't know Peter Parker
to like be older than he is, like, because nobody knows who he is. So
yeah, he has to hide his identity. He has to, and he's going forward. I think this is just a wild, at a left field prediction. Here we go. I think the Team Avengers that we'll see will be Captain America, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Shuri.
Kate Bishop?
No.
Wolverine.
And I will say Hulk. Just
Yeah,
out of left
makes
field on the
sense.
top of my head, that's what I'm going to say is going to be the team of Avengers that we meet.
Or She-Hulk.
Or She-Hulk.
One of the two.
Or She-Hulk. I do think, though, personally, that Captain America and Spider-Man will be leading the Avengers. That's my bet.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people say, oh, Spider-Man's too young to lead the Avengers, but they don't know how old he is. According to them, all they remember is some dude fighting in a spider suit.
Yep.
That's all they remember. So he could just...
maybe Captain Marvel, because right now
Yeah.
Captain Marvel has a connection to Shang-Chi because of the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The only
her as
reason
well,
is like, yeah, I don't see Spider-Man giving like battlefield orders, you know, like.
but I think he'll be a leader because of how experienced he is.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, like, even though Peter Parker was wiped from the face of existence, Spider-Man was in Infinity War. Spider-Man was in Civil War. That
he's a war hero.
identity took over for Peter Parker, so he's been around for years.
Right.
Exactly. For a long time, like since Civil War.
Since
Like
2016.
according to them, and they're in a further future, so he's been around for like a long time. Yeah,
I think they're
11
only. I
years.
think they're a year or two ahead of us.
Oh, but he was dusted,
Maybe.
so whatever. He didn't age during that
Something
time.
like that, yeah.
But still, like the character of Spider-Man has been around since.
No.
Well,
To
even
them,
before
he's like
Civil War.
a well-known,
Yeah.
established Avenger now.
Yeah,
Like,
I
to-
think in Civil War he said
He
it
said, like,
happened a
6
year
months.
ago, 6 months or a
Yeah,
year ago.
something
So
like that, yeah.
let's say he's been around since at least 2015. That's coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair. And
So
by
he's
the
an
time
experienced
Secret
hero.
Wars comes out, he's
Yeah.
been around for a long time.
He's 100% going to be a leader of the Avengers.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
I agree.
No doubt. Just imagine
kinda
that change.
changed-
First of all, hold
Oh,
on.
boy.
You
Hold
kind
on.
of changed
Captain
my mind
Marvel,
on that a little bit.
Captain
Black
Marvel, Captain America, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Black Panther. That's a squad. That's going to
And
get wrecked by
Wolverine.
Kang.
Suit. Wolverine.
Yeah, the
Black
report
Spider-Man's
this
getting
past week was Kang is going to be seen as like the protagonist of Kang Dynasty. So they're doing the
I can see that.
similar thing with Thanos and
As
Infinity
they
War.
should. I think that
Yeah.
should happen every time we get
It's
a
called
series like
Kang
this.
Dynasty.
That should happen. I personally would be okay if they did that every single time. If it was 2 Avengers movies, one from the villain's perspective and one from the
Oh,
hero's
yeah.
perspective. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down with
Sorry,
that. The
went off
first
on a
one makes
major
sense.
tangent,
No,
but that's
Kang being the protagonist in Kang Dynasty makes sense.
Oh, you know what? I'm taking Hulk out of the equation. I'm putting Ant-Man because he fought Kang.
Oh yeah, duh.
He knows. He's the only person right now who really knows who Kang is.
Kang will kill him for sure.
And Kang is going to, well,
I don't think he'll make it to Secret Wars.
spoiler key.
Ant-Man?
Yeah. I think
They're
Kang might kill
not
him.
killing Scott Lang. They're not.
Why not?
Because so like he's too
What more-
lovable.
What
Like,
more
they're
can you
not
do
gonna
with
show
a
a
character?
death scene of like this joyful, lovable guy that everybody wants to give a hug and have him die. Like
Why?
they're just
So-
They did that to Groot.
Yeah. They kill anybody.
The only reason why I'll say that they are not going to kill him
Iron
is
Man died.
because, well, that's my argument. Is every time we meet someone that has like a young child or something, they kind of rip that person away from their kid. Tony Stark away from Morgan. When it comes to Kate Bishop, her parents are kind of crappy, and then you're going to rip away Ant-Man from his daughter after already being ripped away once before. Like I don't know if I buy that. Maybe he retires. Like I could see him fully giving up the suit, retiring, moving on.
No, he could be removed from the universe, but
Yeah.
they're not gonna kill him.
I can
though.
see him moving on in that, but that's it. I don't see him dying.
He could have like a health problem, like I can't wear the suit anymore type thing. Who knows? And then his daughter takes over.
We did that already with Hank Pym.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
hey,
you know-
it could happen again. That's
You know
why
what?
it will happen again.
I am
Took
going
Hawkeye's
to,
whole family from him, and he went on a murder spree.
I'm
Yeah, but we
adjusting
didn't
my
care about
Avengers
them.
lineup again. I'm taking Doctor Strange out of the equation because he's with Clea. I'm putting Loki in there.
Damn.
You think Loki
don't
makes
think-
it back to Earth?
I think Loki makes it back because he has the most information about Kang.
Yep. Well, to be fair, you were saying Scott, right? Like him and Scott are going to be the ones who know
I
the
think
most.
Loki will make it back very similar to how Hulk was kind of thrown back to Earth, where he knows about Thanos coming and whatever. I think because of what Loki's going to learn in Loki season 2, he's going to be heavily involved, I think.
He's got to. I'm curious to see how
Loki
they're going
on
to
the
work that out
Avengers,
because
wow.
Loki is somewhere outside of space and time.
He's where the other Kings are.
he is, but he's also at a point where remember Loki ended with
Mobius
Loki
not knowing who he
didn't
is.
know who he was,
Mhm.
which is quite different from like they've been chasing Lokis, all different kinds of Lokis, all across all different timelines.
Oh well, now they're going to be they're going to be chasing Kings. The
No, yeah, I know.
post-credit scene from Ant-Man is them all chasing Kings.
But what if Loki goes back to like? Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe they got to figure out a point where. I'm curious to see how they do that. That's,
Do you guys think Loki and Thor ever interact again on screen?
that's what
together?
I'm thinking. I don't think they do. I don't think so.
I mean, I'm like 50-50, but I'm starting to lean like 2 weeks ago. I'd probably say like 90-10 no. But I'm much closer to like, yeah, I could see them together again.
I'm wondering if Loki has any desire to see, but then he's like, wait a minute, there's 15 million versions of my brother out there. Which one am I going to go see?
Well,
like,
but I'm sure he's going to want to see his
his
brother.
Yeah. So basically the one from Earth 616, right? Like the main Thor. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It could be something. And again, the same thing I'm saying about Ant-Man. Like it's something that they know this threat, and if it's something that they can do to stop him, including sacrificing yourself, I think.
Well, yeah, but remember, right now, Ant-Man thinks that King's dead. So
sure too.
And he's not going to know until all the other Avengers or characters know, and then maybe he gets wrapped up in it somehow. But look, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of strings right now. We're literally Charlie Day in front of the whiteboard with red strings everywhere. Like that's what we are. And it's leaving open a lot of conversations, and we're going to have a lot of conversations over the next number of years, especially this year when we get Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, when we get Captain Marvel, when we get all these other TV shows that are coming out, or the Marvels, not Captain Marvel, but the Marvels.
I want the Punisher.
A lot of things happening.
He needs to have a minigun. There's never been a scene as a Punisher. It's a big rotating minigun with the spinning barrels.
You mean what Hobbs had in Furious 7? I am the cavalry.
Yeah. I need him carrying a minigun and just
nice
destroying like a whole line of cars.
We'll see. I think that's going to wrap it up, though, tonight, everybody. We covered Star Wars. We covered Marvel. We did the movie watching challenge. Jacob's review of The Age of Innocence is up on the channel. Keith is challenged to the Curious Case of Benjamin Button this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Jacob and Keith, if you guys can plan a time to try to do a review for this upcoming week, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Keith,
then
is
just
this
a heads
the
up.
only Fincher movie you haven't seen?
That's literally what I said. I think this
Nice.
is the Fincher movie I haven't seen. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And then heads up, tomorrow morning, you will see a spoiler review from Gio and Keith on Creed 3. That was going to be the headliner for tonight's show, but things got switched up. So they're going to be doing a separate review that will be released tomorrow morning. And make sure you check that out. They get their thoughts on everything. Michael B. Jordan, speaking of Kang himself, Mr. Jonathan Majors. Excited to hear their thoughts on that. And then tomorrow evening, we have the Mandalorian Club live at 6 o'clock Pacific. Mandalorian Episode 2. And then Thursday morning, you'll see our review for Bad Batch released as well. And I think that's everything for this week. So let's do some quick plugs before we wrap it up. Gio, start us off. Where can everyone find you, man?
Yeah, guys, again, be sure to check out Keith and I's review of Creed 3. We got a lot of things to say about that movie. Also, check out our weekly The Last of Us review shows. Last one, wow, season finale on Sunday, same night as the Oscars. So we're gonna figure out how exactly we're gonna do that. Because
just do it on Monday.
Yeah, just do it on
probably.
I don't know.
That's up to you guys. You guys figure it out.
I have a perfect record. I'm the New England Patriots with this season review.
What?
I haven't missed one even. Yeah. So check us out there. Yeah.
Live at 11 p.m.
Right. Damn. Also check out the anniversary trailer reactions that Keith and I are doing on the channel. We just did one for Tears of the Sun starring Bruce Willis. And we have several more coming out this month. What else is coming out? We got The Big Lebowski, 25 years. What else is there?
I don't remember what we did.
Yeah, it's not that much in March, but Big Lebowski and Tears of the Sun are definitely two big ones. So be on the lookout for that. And my own separate channel, Fandom United. I have more rumor videos there. If you want to know more about Captain America, New World Order, and Secret Wars, check me out there.
Interesting. Jacob.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JacobBarley824. And if you're itching to talk some NFL football, there's a lot of news going on right now. A lot of players getting franchise tagged, a lot of deals getting done. So you can check out First Round Fantasy. My buddy Gabe is covering that all, and I'll be on there pretty soon too. And then, of course, Keith and I do Bartley and Barnes, but I'll let him tell you about that. Keith, you could tease the topic we were talking about if you want, because we're doing that next for sure.
Yes. So check out, first of all, I'm on Twitter at KeithBarnes79. Yeah, Bartley and Barnes coming back. We're talking about, we're going to talk about the movie we just watched, Age of Innocence.
Well, we'll talk about Age of Innocence because we didn't get to talk about it together, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the big topic from Bartley and Barnes. So tune in to watch. No, I'm just kidding.
30-year-old movie, yeah.
No, we're going to talk about our top 10 hip-hop albums of all time. I usually don't like rankings, but this is going to be a fun one to go into. I'm all right. My mind was all right. As soon as we said that, my mind was racing. So that's going to be a fun
I guarantee you we won't have one that we both have one album on our list. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, there won't be a single one. 100%. And Jacob's list, look, I'm going to tease you guys now. Jacob's list is going to be all Eminem and Lil Wayne. All 10.
Just 5 Lil Wayne albums, 5 Eminem albums. There you go.
Yes. But yeah, tune in, Star Drew. Make sure you tune in to watch that. And then, me and Dio, and the finale, Last of Us finale, probably Monday, probably next Monday. We'll let you know for sure. So make sure you follow the social medias. We'll let you know exactly when.
Just for everyone watching real quick, I wanted to mention that it's not 100% set in stone, but there is a chance that we'll be live streaming us watching the Oscars together.
Yeah, right.
We're all going to be getting together, and if everything pans out logistically, we're just going to be hanging out, doing our own little ballots and whatnot, live streaming it here on the channel Sunday evening. No video feed or anything, but just watching us watch the Oscars because people like that stuff. We did it a few years ago and it was very popular, and why not bring it back? So look out for that on Sunday evening. You can watch the Oscars with us if that's what we end up doing. But for now, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate you all. Everyone watching live, you guys rock. Everyone watching the replay, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff, and check out everything else going on the rest of the week. Thanks, guys.
Later.